So when we're building documents for our participants, it's important to think about the design of them. I think initially, a lot of the time, I'll throw in a whole bunch of text and a whole bunch of resources on the page. But as you can see, it's really off-putting. It can be very difficult to understand what the task is and what people are being asked to do. One thing that I like to use in docs when I'm trying to lay things out and have a design that makes sense is using tables. So we talked a little bit about inserting and building tables earlier, but if you throw a table in and you can really make these columns say whatever you need them to say. I like to put tasks or keep things really specific and help people to really get right at the point of what I'm trying to get them to do. But then that way you can take this text out, push it into these blocks, and it's really divided out and it makes sense in a bit of a more linear fashion, especially for kids. I think it can help keep them on task and really get them to understand where you're trying to go with it. So when you're building these out, you really want to think about ease of use for the people who are using them. So not just how it's going to look for you, but how it's going to look for your students and how they're going to be able to use it. And one thing that I really like to do is asking for feedback. So the people who are using it, whether they're your students or they're your colleagues, ask them how this design works for them. And maybe it'll work really well. Maybe you'll have to head back to the drawing board and try again and see what else you can come up with. And that's all part of that design thinking thing that really helps you to clarify and distill down the work that you're doing down to what's really useful for your end user, which is in a lot of cases our students.